All right, it sounds like everybody's ready. Happy Earth Day! We are so excited to see everybody here to celebrate planet Earth, and we are so lucky to have special guest, Dr. Jane Goodall, here today. Let's give her a warm welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me here. It's really nice for me to come to a school, a green school on Earth Day. And the song that we just had, what a great song. Thank you too. It was very, very good. I'm not going to have very long to talk to you, so let me say just one or two things quickly. First of all, it's Earth Day, and we have to think, as we've had in the slides up here, we have to think not only of the other humans around the world and the environment, but also the animals who live with us on this planet. So first of all, I'm going to bring you an animal voice. It's the sound you would hear if you came with me to Gombe National Park, where I've been studying chimpanzees since 1960. Hello. My love for animals began when I was very small, younger than any of you guys sitting down there in the front. And I had a wonderful mother who always was very supportive of my love of animals. When I was 4.5 years old, and some of you are probably around 4.5 years old in here somewhere, I had a great treat. I went to stay on a farm in the country because we lived in London. There weren't so many animals in the city. And I can still remember all those years ago, cows and pigs and horses, and how exciting it was to see them close up. And I had a job to help collect the hens' eggs. And in those days they didn't have these cruel battery farms. The hens pecked around freely in the farmyard. And I had to take the eggs from their nests and put them in my little basket. And apparently, I don't remember this, but I was asking everybody, but where does the egg come out of a hen? I can't see a hole like that. And so nobody told me. And I still remember seeing a hen going up into one of these little hen houses. The nesting boxes were round the edge, and thinking, she's going to lay an egg. So I crawled after her. Well, that was a big mistake. She gave squawks of fear, I suppose, and flew out. And I remember thinking, no hen will lay an egg here. This is a frightening place. So I went into an empty hen house, and according to my family, I waited in there for 4 whole hours. And finally a hen came in, and my mother was searching. None of them knew where I was, and she suddenly sees this excited little girl rushing towards the house, all covered in straw, and she could so easily have said, how dare you go off without telling us, don't you dare do it again, which would have killed all my excitement. But she saw my shining eyes and sat down to hear the wonderful story of how a hen lays an egg. And then she found the books I wanted to read, books about animals. And I was 10 years old when I read the book about Tarzan of the jungle. And in those days there was no TV. Probably some of you can't believe a world with no TV. No TV, no email, no nothing like that. So I read the book and fell in love with Tarzan, and decided that when I grew up, I would go to Africa, live with animals, and write books about them. Everybody laughed at me. How would I do that? Africa was far away. We didn't have much money at all. World War II was raging in Europe, and I was a girl. Girls at that time didn't get a chance to do those sort of things. But my mother never laughed at me. She would say, if you really want something and you work hard and you never give up, you will find a way. So that's how it was that I managed to save up my money working in London as a secretary, and I finally got out to Africa when I was 23, sailed away on a boat, goodbye to my family and my country. And once I got to Kenya to stay with a school friend, I met this wonderful man, Louis Leakey. And first he gave me a job as his secretary, and then he offered me the opportunity to go and study chimpanzees. I would have studied any animal, and he gave me the one most like us. Now I know you've seen the trailer of this Disney movie, and I know that some of you anyway are going to go and see it. It is the most wonderful film. It's absolutely fantastic. It's the best film about chimpanzees I've ever seen. It's got this wonderful story and amazing footage. Certainly, when I look back over the years I've spent with the chimps, the thing that we realize so strongly is how like us they are. And in this movie, you'll see how like us they are. And therefore, it's very sad to find that all across where they live in Africa, they're disappearing. The forests are going, they're being cut down, human populations are growing and taking away more and ever more land from the wild creatures, which is what we're doing all over the world now. And chimpanzees are also hunted. So it was because I realized that I needed to do something to save the chimpanzees, or to do my best. And to save chimpanzees, you must save the forest. And of course, the forest is something that's very important for all of us. I don't know if you've learned about what the forests do, but you will do, and how they clean the water and clean the air, keep this carbon dioxide out of the environment and help us to slow down global warming. So I've been traveling the world since 1986, 300 days a year, and I kept meeting young people who seemed a little bit sad about what was happening in the world and thinking, well, I wish there was something I could do. And that's why I like hearing what your school is doing, just realizing that if everybody does something every day, it's going to make a difference, and that what we do does matter, what each one of us does matter. And if it was just me, and I did wonderful things every day, it wouldn't make any difference, but it's not just me. It's growing into be hundreds and thousands and millions of people who care about the planet. And I hope that some of you will want to get involved with the program that I started 20 years ago for young people. I started it in Tanzania. It's called Roots and Shoots, and it started with high school students. Now it's students of all ages. We've got even preschoolers, so everybody down here can take part. It's in 130 countries now, and it goes up through university. So what is Roots and Shoots? It's the message I've just been talking about, that you're acting. Every single one of us makes a difference every single day, and we have a choice as to what kind of difference we're going to make. And so with this message, Roots and Shoots asks young people to get together and to talk about the things that you care about. Not what I'm talking about, or even your teachers, but what do you care about? Do you want to help us look after stray dogs or save endangered species in another land? Do you want to help us to care for homeless people out on the street, or elderly people who sort of don't have any family near them? Do we want to try and cheer them up? Do we want to clean a stream or make the school grounds beautiful? It's up to you. You choose. But every group between them chooses one project to help animals, one to help people, one to help the environment. And we learn to live in peace and harmony, not just between ourselves, but between us and Mother Nature. So every year in September, all around the world, we fly these giant peace doves on the United Nations International Peace Day. And we have Susanna Name here, sitting back there, who works for me for the Jane Goodall Institute, and she could come and tell you a lot more about Roots and Shoots. But it really is bringing together young people from all over the world, and it helps you to understand that there is a big movement now, and you really are making a difference. And we want to share the difference that you make with other people around the world. So that's what Roots and Shoots is all about. And I've been really honored to be asked to come and talk to you on Earth Day, because I know that Earth Day is a very special day for you. It's a very special day for me. And this is much nicer where I am now than where I was this morning, because I had to go to the dentist. I needed clean teeth for Earth Day. So anyway, thank you for inviting me, and never forget that every single day you live, you make a difference. Thank you.